Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever episode number 215, where we're going to be going through some Happy New Year Paydirt. Got my two bags here, a 2-grammer and a 4-grammer. We're going to be going through those. We're going to try to hit the bonus bag in the 4-grammer. That's the one we're going for the bonus bag. This one, I don't think. I have a reason why I don't think this is a bonus bag, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Is that quartz I see? That's not quartz. All right, let me catch up on chat really quickly. Who is here and who's not here? John Gear, how's it going? Can't Stop Me Now, how's it going? Those Left Behind, what's up, brother? David Hamilton, Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? Mentally Corrupted, I got to email you back. I need 4. We'll have to do a trade. I'll just send you this stuff early, and when you get around to it, you can send me yours. Donna, how are you, Donna? Hopefully you're feeling well. Hopefully everything's been good with you for a while now. Brian, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. John Myers. Gold Sniper. Mike from Gold Nugget Sales, how's it all? Sean McClelland. Whiskey Lover. PA Pickers, how's it going? Shane Berthero. Kristen Reed, where's Michael at? I'm sure he'll be popping in here soon. Jason G, how's it going? Imagination of Form. Hobo Rob, how's it going? Been a while. I am Zaxxon, how's it going? All right, let me pop out chat. There we go. Pop it out and set it to new chat instead of top chat. There we go. So yeah, we're going to be going through 2 bags of GNS Paydirt today. No. All right. It drives me crazy that YouTube doesn't stay up to date on the studio platform. All right. But we're just going to stop looking at that. So yeah, 2 bags today, a 2-grammer and a 4-grammer. Now I don't think, like I said, I don't think the 2-grammer is a bonus. This one was ordered like 2 or 3 days after the video, the gold vlog video came out. And so I think by then the bonus bags had already been sold. But the 4-grammer, this one was ordered on the day. So this has got my only shot, I think. So we'll have to see. The other 2-grammer and 4-grammer I had a secret shopper buy, did not have bonus bags, so. So, yeah, I know they were sold the first day. I figured as much. So this one, I think, like I said, I don't remember what day the video came out, but this one was ordered like 2 or 3 days later, so I don't think it was a bonus bag. But I haven't heard of anyone hitting the bonus bag, and I know a few people who bought them on the first day. So I think a lot of the reviewers ran out, or a lot of the YouTube people in the community ran out and grabbed those really, really quickly to try and get those bonus bags. Alpine Prospecting, how's it going? Well, it depends on which one you got in your order, Alpine. If you ordered the 2-grammer, you still got a shot. If you got the 4-grammer, then it's us competing against each other. And I would actually hope you got it over me. Like I say, I always think I'm more than blessed on this channel. So, you know, I as long as I know who wins it, that's the thing is, it's one of the reasons why I don't like bonus bags is because you never know who wins a lot of times. And I like to know who wins. So, and how's it been going, Whiskey? Been doing good? Yeah, I know. So, Mike, GNS, one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of her Paydirt, but Emily Rydell, I think, did one of the best things for her bonus bags. When she first came out, her Paydirt, it was a true chase bag, which I wasn't a fan of, and I gave her a bad review for doing a chase bag. But I liked her system. The way she had it was her bonus bags had essentially a golden ticket in them, like a Willy Wonka thing. And then that way you had to turn it in to get the bonus. And I still think that is probably one of the best methods anyone should use when they do bonus bags, as opposed to just dumping in extra gold. because a lot of people don't like to tell you that they won. They just don't. Whatever reason, they don't want people to know that they won a bonus bag and that they're lucky or something like that. Same reason that people don't tell you when they win the lottery. But I thought that was a great one, because then you can even put in the terms, hey, if you turn in this ticket, you're going to have to send me a picture, holding the golden ticket or something, so that way you can use it for future advertising. So I always thought that was one of the best ways to do it. You just roll up a little golden ticket, put it in a tube, pop it in the bag. That way when someone opens the bag, they know they got it right off the back. But, I want chocolate. I got a 1.2 gram nug and a 2.93 grams in smalls for my 2026. That's pretty good, brother. Yeah, so from what I've seen so far, I've gotten the biggest nugget out of the 4 gram bag at 1.4. I think everyone else 1.19. Dig Daddy got 1.28. You got, someone else got a 1.14, and someone else in chat said something that was smaller than mine. So I'm okay with that. I won't tell you I won the lotto, but there will be signs. Yeah. Package Total, how's it going? Midwest, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone being here tonight. So, yeah, I mean, the golden ticket, the one reason I liked it is because, one, they don't have to send it back to you, but then they have to take a picture of something. And like I said, it gives you advertising. It's one of the reasons why I think, so Felix Paydirt, I'm not a huge fan of theirs. A lot of people will know. But they used to be really, really popular. And the reason that Felix Paydirt used to be really, really popular is because he would do his 1 ounce gold nugget hunts at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, every bag you had bought was one entry for the year. And he would do a 1 ounce, 2 ounce. I think he later started doing up to 4 ounce nuggets. And so for every bag you got, you'd get an entry. And at the end of the year, like a bucket would be like 10 entries or something like that. But at the end of the year, he would do the drawing and he would tell people, send me a picture of you with the nugget. But eventually people stopped sending in nuggets. So like if you look at his website, you'll see 2012, a person with a nugget, 2013, person with a nugget, all the way up until like 2017 or something. And then it just goes dark. And there's like no pictures until I think like 2022. There's somebody with a picture and then nothing since. So, it forces people to let you take a picture so you can see it, like, hey, let me advertise this on my website. Here's the nuggets. Here's the giveaways I've done. And I think that's why they dropped off, because people like, even me, I'm like, they still giving these away. I don't see any proof that these nuggets are being given away, and it's hard. So what's up, Flash? How's it going, Ed? How you been doing, man? Long time no see. Probably because we always on the same time, but Charles King, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Michael Reed, 1.416. You had to go and ruin it for me. All right. I didn't get the biggest nugget out of all of them. No. Donna, thank you very much, Donna. You're way too kind to me all the time. Yes. So I know the bonus bags are out in the world, and I think Mike will confirm that all the bonus bags have been sold. Well, Dale, we're only talking about these. We're only talking about the 4 grammers. I got a 4 gram nugget from somebody a while back. I don't remember who. It's been a while. No longer in my possession, but I had one for a little bit. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Ed. I really do. One of these days, I'll go back to my old time and be able to give you your freedom to reign on Tuesdays until my show starts. My buddy got a 1.6 gram. Oh, that's a nice one. Rocky Mountain, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I knew I'd seen somebody now. Joey Brown, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So yeah, but we're not going to talk too much today. We're going to do a lot of panning. So I still got to do these 2 bags. And these bags were a little bit more difficult than I thought they would be. There was a lot of fine gold in these, a lot. And it is a Tuesday, which means I'll probably put a lot in the Tuesday tailings. I might actually save this Tuesday tailings and my Tuesday tailing. So I'll probably save this Tuesday tailings and use this material for this month's Patreon Paydirt. Just because I've got a hunch I'm going to miss a wee bit of gold in this. So John R., how's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. I haven't put your dirt up on my shelf. I mean, I put it somewhere, but I put it somewhere where you can't really see it. So I was supposed to rebuild my shelves today, but I kind of had a lazy day and didn't build the shelves. HD, what's up, brother? I just realized today I missed a phone call from you. I don't know. I got a new phone like 2 months ago, and it is the wackiest phone ever. It doesn't ring sometimes. It rings when it wants to. It'll ring, a message will pop up, and the message will disappear after a while. So Feingold was cheap. Yeah, that's. I can tell you. So right after the new year, like right when the new year, right after like December 30th, up until like the first week of January, I had a lot of people trying to sell me gold. And you could tell that they were saving all their nuggets because it was nothing but fine gold. And I mean like ounces and ounces. I had people sending me pictures of, here's 3 ounces, here's 4 ounces of gold I'm trying to sell. And it was all fine gold. And it wasn't like all super fine gold where you knew, okay, that's what they're prospecting. They're just hitting that, really fine gold. It would be chunky all the way up to about plus 10, and then it would just stop. And there was no nuggets, no nothing. And it's like, oh yeah, they're all holding all the nuggets waiting for gold to go up. So, and I did, by the way, Mike, I did send someone to you as a referral. I think it was 93 grams that they were trying to sell. It was too much for my little bitty pocketbook. I was clutching my purse saying, oh no, 93. I was like, no. I was like, you don't want my offer. Like, my offer is going to be if it was 23. No. So I sent them your way. Hopefully y'all made a deal. It was some nice looking gold. It was all different classifications, so just no real nuggets. So those left behind, you just sending everybody packages. The real Mr. Hogan, how's it going? Winston Fields, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. A3 Sky Warrior in the house, the beekeeper. How's it going, my brother? Dino Littlehale, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. And if I miss anybody, I apologize. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate you all being here. We're going to be doing a lot of panning today. And gold spot is pretty high. It didn't really move too much after Monday. Generally, I've noticed that, and this is not political in any way, but it seems like for whatever reason, all the politicians want to say a lot on Saturday and Sunday when the stock market's not in business. And then every single Monday, the stock market manages to crash a little bit. Then it goes up and a whole bunch of people make millions and millions of dollars. But with that also comes people being really scared that the fact every single weekend we seem to have like all this bad stuff happen on weekends, only on weekends. And then Monday, we seem to always be in a giant turmoil. So Monday seems to be the day that gold either goes up a whole bunch or drops. Like the last big drop for gold was on a Monday. So, but then it kind of stays stable. So what are we at? 148.05. So not too bad. 46.05. 46.05 exactly for an ounce. So gold's getting up there. So I need that bonus bag because that means that bonus bag went from like, what was it? 800 and something to about $900 now. I want that extra $50. It was like 860. It'll be like 910 now. I need that extra $50 from that bonus bag. No. And if I do get the bonus bag, all that gold will be getting dumped into Patreon Paydirt bags. So, as there'll be a little juiced bags this month. So there we go. Oh, thank you very much, the real Mr. Hogan. I really appreciate that. That's awesome of you. I really do appreciate that. And I got some more reviews coming out. I was working on my calendar today and yesterday, trying to see what videos to put in the future, any battles, any paydirts I want to do. I was hunting for new paydirts. It's getting hard to find new paydirts. It really is. It's with gold getting really expensive. I'm gonna be optimistic, of course. I got some reviews coming out, but like I said, I don't think there's gonna be that many new sellers opening. I heard one that's getting ready to open, so I'm keeping my eye on them. But with gold so high, it's not easy to start a business. It used to be when gold was $40, you know, you could say, okay, let me grab $400 or $500 and I can get a couple bags of Paydirt and start a business. Now you've got to invest a good chunk of money. So started a Millerthon yesterday. Oh, that's awesome, brother. I hope you record it all. If you do, send me a link to it. I hope I got the bonus bag. Ah, you got one. When did you order, John? I heard through the grapevine it was sold. These bonus bags sell pretty quickly. So how long are you going to be selling the two? Yeah, that's why I recommended it today for my daily ROI on Patreon, because I don't see them lasting much longer. So especially with gold going up, he's going to have to pull them off the shelf and dump them on his pool. So he's going to put them nuggets back in the pool. Aaron Mack, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Oh, what you filming, Midwest? I saw that. And that's funny. I had to rewrite that. So when I do use AI to make my songs now, because it's much better and it's, you know, I just pay for a once a year membership to the AI, as opposed to buying songs individually and then maybe having YouTube decide that they're no longer free and stuff like that. So what I do is I use Suno, make my song. So usually I'll have it make one or two songs, and then I'll take all the words that they come up with and all the verses and choruses and stuff like that, and I put it all in a spreadsheet, and then I redo the whole thing, just because Suno is really not that great if it's, you know, like if you really listen to it. A lot of the times, like, it kept wanting to talk about coffee beans, and I don't know why it was really held up on coffee beans. But that line was actually different. Like, I forget what it was, but I had to change it. What was it? It said chasing that dream, and it said in a cloudy, and it wasn't stream. I don't know why it didn't have stream or something, but it was something else like beam or something like that, in a cloudy beam, because it was trying to, like, the next line, which I actually deleted, it had like the next two lines or something about sunshine or something. So I always have to rewrite it. Like, it'll come up with like two songs, then I'll rewrite them. I'll throw in extra words and stuff like that. So, but I did like that. That was actually a pretty decent song. So I had to rewrite that one. And that one took me a while to rewrite, just because I think I rewrote it at like 5 o'clock right before I pumped the video out. So doing a GNS-a-thon next. Are you recording these, brother? I hope you really are. If you told me I missed it, let me see. Yeah. Hogan. All right, let's go. We're going to start panning. Let me move everything around. Gold's at a all-time high, 46.05 an ounce. So let's see if we can get that bonus bag. We're going to do the 2-grammer first, just to get my hands ready for the panning. Like I said, I don't think this is a bonus bag. I really don't. It was my buddy of mine sent me this. He bought it like 3 days, I think, after the promo was announced. So just started. All right. All right. So let me shrink down the ugly mug. Let me get the panning cam ready. So give me a second. Chat amongst yourselves. I'll shrink down the ugly mug so y'all can rejoice. There we go. Put some gloves on. Move everything around. And we're going to start doing some panning. All right, let's see. Open up the tablet. And as y'all can see, I'm still using the dirty water. I figured, why change the water out when it's still going to be the same material. All right. Okay. If I can get this thing. All right. Mark Sheldon, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Wisconsin Prospecting, how's it going? Kim Smith, thank you very much for dropping in. Yeah, Suno has zero customer support. I mean, they just got bought out. So Suno just got bought out by somebody else. A bigger company just bought Suno. So I don't think it's going to be very good for very much longer. I'm guessing that they're going to start doing higher tiered pricing and stuff like that, and they're just going to make it, when a company buys out another company, they need to get their money back, so they ruin it and just then use it as a tax write-off when they kill the company. So, Dorothy, how are you? All right, let's open up this first bag. Get my hands all ready. All right. Moving everything. Tomcat, how's it going? Yes, we are doing a hidden video today. Yes, the hidden video is up. The mods want to drop the link. If you want to drop the link, we are doing a hidden video. And again, make sure you go post a comment in the hidden video. At the end of this live show, I will be pulling one name. And if you're here in the live show, we'll pull a name out. And then you'll have a chance to win one of 25 prizes, one of which is a bag of gold nugget sales Paydirt with a 1/4 gram of gold in it. All right, got my coffee. My coffee is not very hot today, so I'm not doing well with that. David Stocks, how's it going? Thank you very much. All right, let's dump out bag number 1. And there you go. Let's start panning it out. See what we get. I already see a little bit of gold. And again, this will not be a bonus bag, I don't think. All right, 8-3. See you later, brother. And Midwest, didn't you email me about being on your show? I need to reply to that one. I just saw that one again yesterday. My email goes through bouts of being spammed a lot by scammers trying to, oh yeah, you have a document we need you to sign. Just click this link and go to this Russian website and put in all your information. And I saw it when you sent it to me. And I was like, oh, I need to read this. And then it kind of got buried and I forgot about it. But then I saw it again today when I was deleting stuff, and I was like, I need to reply to that. So there we go. Let's see. First pan. Got some gold. Some wheat gold, too. I need to put some gloves on. This water is cold. It's one of the problems about leaving water and conserving water. It gets really cold down here at night. Ollie Skeeter. Yeah, what do you use OBS or do you use what's the other one called? I don't even remember what the other software is called. Because I've had a couple people, and the problem for me has always been I don't have it on my laptop and I need to put it on there and figure out how to add my camera to it, my microphone. But if you send me another email, Midwest, and remind me what platform you use for your lives, and for me to get in gear and add it to my laptop if it's not OBS, which is probably not. But yeah, probably depending on the time and the night, I'm more than probably able to do it. So, Olympic skeet shooter, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't use my phone for anything. You don't want me to try to download an app on my phone. I use about 10% of the functions on my phone, and I'm really bad at that. I'm much better with a laptop than I am with a phone. Good gold in these bags. A lot of fine gold. Yeah. Yeah. Rocky Mountain, how's it going? So yeah, this should be. Did Mike ever answer how much longer he's going to have these bags up? Because I saw today they were actually up to, I think, 108% ROI today. At one point, anyway. Gold spot doesn't stay the same all day. But you really can't beat that. I did see, I don't put them, so there's a seller, I don't put them on my daily ROI chart. But I think I saw they had like it was a 5 gram bag, but it was like 115% ROI. They've been known as a scammer, so I don't put them on my list. But another week or two, well, that's good. Is the pool getting a little low on nuggets? Are you like, oh no, I can see the 6-foot line now. I might have to end this. Using up too many nuggets. I think I just saw a tiny little piece of gold go off the side into the Tuesday tailings. Which half grammer do you got? I mean, he's only got 2, so it's either the easy or the hard. I like both of them, so want to make sure everyone gets one who wants one. All right, that's the way to do it. What you should have made sure everyone got the bonus bag that wanted one, because I really wanted one bad. And I don't know why, because I'm just gonna throw it in bags of Paydirt to give to other people. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Andrew, and thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. The pool is getting drained big time. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to send you. I had an idea the other day for you, Mike. I'll have to send it for you. It would be something more like whatnot related than like for your web. I mean, I'm guessing you could put it on your website too. It's not Paydirt related really, but I'll have to send you a text about it maybe after the live or tomorrow or something. Yeah, let me write a note so I remember. And it had something to do with all I know, like when you do Paydirt, if you're buying gold from somewhere special, you might get a lot of fine gold. So like, if you bought some Mexican gold and you're trying to do a Mexican Paydirt again, it's not really advantageous to have, minus 40 Mexican gold because no one's going to know it really as much as opposed to the chunky stuff. but it was something to do with all the fine gold. Wrench, what's up, brother? Thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. And that's Thursday, right? This Thursday, Wrench is doing his the drawing is this Thursday. So are you doing it, Wrench, or is Gentleman Prospector doing the live? Who's doing the live show for the fundraiser? Feel free to put details, Wrench. Oh, by the way, is Wrench? Okay. Just making sure you are a mod. Thank you again. Alan Curie, what's up, brother? How are you? I have your stuff on the way to me. So as soon as it arrives to me, I will send you a message and get it to you. Some nice gold. That's the one thing I really like about like bigger bags of Paydirt, like the 2 grammers and 3 grammers and stuff like that. It's just, you know, if you're doing a half gram bag, 1 gram bag, a lot of times, you know, each pan has like 2 or 3 pieces of gold in it, and that's it, you know, and you're like, you know, at the end, you're going to get a good pile. But these bigger bags, there's always something about, you know, each pan having a nice little pile of gold in them, so. All right. So we all want good weather this Thursday. That's awesome. I set an alarm on my phone, so I should be there. If not, if you remember, text me, Wrench, and tell me. Say, get on the show, brother. TM, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So yeah, for anyone that's late, we are doing 2 of the Happy New Year 105% ROI bags today from Gold Nugget Sales. Doing that. This is the 2 gram bag, guaranteed 2.1 grams. It is not the bonus bag. Oh, man, I totally spelled that wrong, Nightbot. Nightbot, why didn't you tell me I misspelled morning? Here, let me fix that. I don't want to look like I'm too illiterate. There we go. Make me look, I know how to spell a couple words. That's awesome. Make sure everybody, you go click that link from Wrench and go highlight it. Make sure you put a notification for YouTube to tell you when the show is. Put it in your phone. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out. He's got a couple videos. He just put out the 2 shorts with the prizes in it. I've got 2 half gram bags. There's a whole bunch of cool bags. Lord Shadow's got a painting in there that I'm trying to win. I like winning the stuff that, you know, Paydirt and stuff I can trade for. I can buy, you know, people donate stuff. But it's the cool stuff like the paintings and stuff like that that I always want to win. So, more gold, more gold. Words hard. None of the words are hard. I'm a decent speller. I mean, I'm okay, but my fingers just don't go work very fast. they just start. They're not very good when it comes to typing. So, I have I don't know why it is, but NG. Whenever I'm typing, if there's anything that has to do with the word, like, you know, morning or something else, if there's an N and a G, for whatever reason, my brain always gets those wrong. And 95% of the time, if I'm typing something like showing, plowing, moving, it will end up with GN at the end. And I don't know why, and I'll have to, I wish there was I'm going to have to add a program to my laptop that just automatically changes any words that say GN into NG. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, it was funny. Like, I had donated some prizes, and I'm kind of broke. It's just Christmas is over. It's a new year, and, I'm trying not to get into debt or anything like that. So I was like, I can donate some prizes, but I really want to, I want to help, but, do I spend a little bit of money? And then I saw the Lord shout. I was like, dang it. Oh, that's awesome, Dorothy. Yeah, to me, that was the main prize, was the Lord Shadow painting. I mean, there were some other really cool prizes on there, Paydirt and stuff like that. The empty pan Paydirt was a cool bag. I like that. I like his little I like empty pan's bag. I like the simple bags. I'm really, certain things just catch my eye on certain Paydirt bags that make me really like them. So, which reminded me I have to email Empty Pan to see about trading bags with him. There we go. Oh, the last bag had the chunky nugget in it. Look at that. This is the big old nugget in the 2-grammer. Look at that bad boy there. Oh yeah, spell check is absolutely one of the worst things. I can't tell you how many times, like, if I'm texting somebody and I'm like kind of trying to pay attention to something else while I'm texting, I will type out an entire paragraph and then I'll look down and it's almost nothing of what I typed is actually in there, because it'll spell check something totally different. Like, I'm trying to say gold and it'll type in something, like it'll auto type, then it'll auto correct, and it changes gold to like holdings. And it's like, what? That's not even close to what I was saying. It's like, leave me alone. That's what I said. I do not use my phone very much. I'm just not a fan of it. Me and phones don't get along, so. Yeah, auto incorrect is more like it, yeah. Oh, I need some jet dry. Get that jet dry. Oh, you almost got her all fixed up, wrench. Yeah, nice little pile. Oh, no, no. See that big old nugget's trying to escape. Don't escape, nugget. Just being difficult. All right, we won't get rid of that. We will just leave it in the pan. David Danderin, how's it going, brother? Oh, I need some more water. So this is just bag number 1. Still got another bag, the big bag, the 3-pounder to go through. And just because this is a Tuesday and there's so much fine gold in this, I'm probably going to, if I can remember, after the show, I might totally forget and just dump this in my 5-gallon bucket. But even that shouldn't be a problem because I just started a new 5-gallon bucket. But if I can dry this material up and remember to do it by the end of the month, I'll use this material for this month's Patreon Paydirts for my $79 tier members. Because more than likely, I'm going to miss a wee bit of gold tonight just because there's so much fine gold. So that's awesome, Wrench. No. No. All right. Well, I just need to get the rest of this out of here. So, obviously, since no one has claimed the 2 or said they've found the 2-gram bonus bag, that means somebody either has found it and not telling us, or one of you all still have it in their collection just waiting to be panned out. So, I did not obviously get the 2-grammer bonus bag. All right. Just a little bit more. I wish they would do that for people's names. I feel bad like when I do my Patreon shout outs. So many people have names that I just know I'm butchering up and I'm like, I feel bad. have you never seen a bad piece of gold in a pan? I've seen some bad gold. So I'll have to bring it down and bring it to my studio or I was supposed to shoot a video about some ugly gold this week, but I'm having a hard time shooting it just because I don't have a really good camera. The only thing I can use is my phone, and it's not showing it off enough. So I'm trying to figure out, I have an old iPhone. The cameras aren't very good. So I need to find somebody that's got a better iPhone that I can borrow temporarily for an hour to shoot some good pictures. No, I don't have to look and see what my kids have. But I think theirs are like 13s or 14s. Yeah. But yeah, I've gotten some ugly gold in my time. I mean, most gold I think is pretty, but I've gotten a couple pieces that are just kind of like, is this really even gold? SD Redneck, that was him. We were talking about, I think it was last show, about people that used to have like really junky gold in their pay dirt. That was like, but he was coming out. I remember SD Redneck. A lot of it was like jewelry scrap in his pay dirt. And then there was other things he was having. I remember SD was trying to say he had white gold pay dirt. He's like, yeah, this pay dirt has white gold in it. And he was claiming that it was only from a certain region in like Tennessee and on the border of like Tennessee and like Alabama or something. Yeah. I take any ugly gold into my home. Yeah. No. But yeah, I had some ugly gold come into my possession. I had a couple of nuggets, ugly nuggets. So I had them sent off to be checked with the XRF to see what their composition was. And I'm going to try to shoot a video for it for next Monday. But if I can't, then I'll do a Paydirt review. So I do have a video coming out next Monday, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how to shoot the ugly nugget one. But yeah, so there we go. 2.2 grammer. Let's put this to the side. You get another one of my stock pans, an empty pan. Oh, the purple gold? Yeah, the purple gold was really pretty. Just wish it wasn't so expensive and that they could make bigger nuggets. Like if they could make like a 1 gram nugget, I would buy some for my kids' collection. But just those little bitty pieces are so small. I need to go look at them. I know I've emailed them a couple times about different things, and they were just really, really slow to reply. So I have to see again. I have to go on there and see. But all right, here we go. There we go. There is 4 gram bag. Let's see. Yeah. Not seeing any quartz in here. Where's all my quartz, Mike? Yeah, doesn't look like this is a bonus bag either. Dang it. I want my money back. With interest, because I want my ROI and gold spot is up. Oh, well, that just means somebody who has a 4 grammer at their house probably has a bonus bag. So, all right. Let's shake it up to get that nugget to the bottom so we don't see it till the end. Well, they have a seller that sells purple gold raw. I mean, most of the time you see purple gold, it's only already made into jewelry. So, but they have one seller that sells purple gold, and I did a purple gold Paydirt for one of my videos. But it was all smaller gold. Like, they didn't have any big pieces, which kind of sucked. What did you ever find out about that magnetic gold? I actually have some magnetic gold on my shelf. It's for one of these days. I've been trying to amass it. So here, I will show y'all. Here. Let me see, make sure this shows up on camera. But this, all of this gold is magnetic. Here, hold on. Why is... There we go. All right. See, all this gold is magnetic. So it's either got little pieces of iron on it or something else. But yeah, it's just, it's from one particular seller. And I've been saving it up every time I do some of their Paydirt, and I get a little bitty piece that pops up on magnetic. But it just has little pieces of iron in the gold or metal, you know. So one of these days. But yeah. He deleted that video though. What if they never paint it? That could be true. There's a lot of people that will buy bags of Paydirt and put them on their shelf. So, but I think with these bonus bags, I think the people that rushed out to buy them quickly, the first couple buyers, a lot of them were people that are on YouTube channels that were trying to get those bonus bags. So I think they're gonna pan them out, and they might not tell everybody that they found them, but you know. I have a lot of stuff I won't ever pan. Yeah, everything on my shelf won't ever be panned. Iron containing gold pieces, that's it. But 1% of gold I pan. Yeah, I mean, it does happen. But the thing about, so the problem with Clash's video is, you know, I've talked to a few people who saw the video before he deleted it, we don't think it's gold. Like if you look at the video, or if you would have seen the video, what he was showing didn't even look like gold. Like it just didn't. I think, it's kind of like the thing, like he had made a video once before, like early when he first started buying gold, where he showed a video showing like, I think it was the process of how to sell gold to him. And he showed that somebody had sent him like an entire vial, like what they thought was an ounce of gold, and it was all pyrite. It was like an ounce of pyrite. So I kind of felt like it was that, like somebody didn't really clean up their gold very well. They were just, panning stuff out and panned it, and, whatever extra was in there, they sent off. And he just, like, oh, since they sent it to me, it must be, he wanted to, it made a better thumbnail by saying, like he knew. Because if you look at his description when you sell him gold, he says he's going to run a magnet over it to take out all the non-gold. So it should have been out of there, already before he even made a quote or anything like that. So he was just trying to get views, and I think it backfired a little bit. But, I mean, we ended up finding out, like, we knew who the person was that sold him gold. We found out through some digging who it was. But there you go. First pan of non-bonus bag. All right, Midwest. Ain't even done my Yukon Alley yet. Yeah. Magnetic burritos. Gold Putts, how's it going? I didn't even say hi to you. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone here tonight. If I didn't say hi to you, I appreciate you. Yeah, that's all it was. He was trying to get, like you can tell, like if you look at Clash, he knows, I mean, Clash wants viral videos. That's how he makes all his monies. If he gets a viral video, it makes him bank, then he doesn't really have to do that much anymore. He can put out one video a month. He can just keep re-releasing the same video multiple times, and so he's always trying to get a viral video. And I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, if you can get, $250,000 off of a video, you try to make the little clickbait ones, it's why he went right back to the streets of New York again after that first one went viral and, didn't do very well. It's why every big channel eventually does the Home Depot play sand video, because, there's been a few of them that have gone viral. So they think, okay, well, it's my chance to get it viral. One hasn't been viral in a year or two. So he was just trying to do that, and it didn't go viral, and people got upset about it. And I think they were just really upset because, he was calling out Vendetta, and everyone kind of knows Vendetta's a good guy. So, I normally, so I don't watch Clash, unless it's a non-review video, and then I'll watch it. I mean, sometimes I might click to the end to see if he's still doing the, like sell to me route, like if he's still doing this Paydirt sucks, but you should buy from me instead thing. And he is, but I do. And that's not just because it's Clash. I don't watch any other reviewers. I just don't, because I don't want to be biased about what they say about a Paydirt compared to me. Unless it's somebody I'm not going to review. Like I will watch a review on, if it's a Paydirt that I've given up on. Like if somebody did a video on like Felix Paydirt, I would probably watch it just because I have no plans on ever buying Felix again. And I'm pretty much set in my thoughts about Felix. So, yeah. I actually have a video, I don't know why, but I have another video of Clash coming out, I think next month. What? All right, A3. Yeah, it's not looking very bonusy now. No, but that's all right. Somebody else can win it. I get, like I say, I'm blessed enough. I'll be blessed on Thursday when I win that Lord Shadow painting. Yeah. I have a YouTube channel. I have fun. I get to do Tuesday Night Live shows, and things like that. So yeah, that was 90% of it. Because like if you looked at all the comments, it was all people just defending Vendetta, you know, and it wasn't even like they were defending him so much as to say like it didn't happen. It was that he had zero proof. He had no proof that that's where the gold came from. So you don't just throw someone underneath the bus and say, like, oh, this is where this gold came from. There's no proof. You're taking third party and throwing another seller underneath the bus, and that's just not good. Yeah. But yeah, I just tend to not watch any reviews, just, you know. And I get curious sometimes. Who was it? I mean, I will say I did watch I skipped to the end of Dig Daddy's that he just did his New Year's bag like 2 days ago. I skipped to the end of that one, just wanted to see how much he recovered out of his and to see if he got the bonus bag. Hey Jeff, how's it going? So there was a while back, if you missed the earlier part of the chat, Clash had come out with a video. This is like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where he said that somebody had sold him gold and that it was magnetic gold. And it was fake gold. He essentially said it was fake gold, and he said that the buyer, instead, like he didn't verify it or anything. He said the buyer got the gold from either me or Vendetta Prospecting with no proof. The gold in the video didn't look like real gold. It kind of looked just like little pieces of iron or something that were in the gold. So everyone got upset that he was saying that, he's taking the word of just some guy saying, oh, you found this, non-gold in my gold I'm selling you. Well, I got it from Vendetta, you know. And, it was just poorly choiced words. He could have just said, he got it from a Paydirt seller, and that's it, and left it. He didn't have to name names, so, but yeah, and make sure everybody you go to the hidden comment and leave a comment if you haven't already. Tonight we're doing the Wheel of Treasures. We got 25 prizes up there. You can win one of them if you leave a comment and I pull your name tonight. And I don't know if it's the grand prize, but I do have 2 bags of Paydirt up there, maybe 3. I think there's 3 bags of Paydirt on the wheel. There is a bag of Paydirt from Those Left Behind up there. The big prize, though, is a 0.25 gram bag of Paydirt from Gold Nugget Sales himself. So I got a few of those on my shelf. I got to get rid of, Yeah. You can look at my shelf. I have a few from Vendetta up there. How many bags of Paydirt do I have up here? From Gold Nugget Sales, I have what, 3, 4, 5 bags. I have 5 bags from Gold Nugget Sales, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags from Vendetta, and that's not including all my giveaway bags from them that I have for them. I actually had, Vendetta, Gold Nugget Sales and Vendetta, the 2 mics are my favorites. I text them. I actually had Vendetta make me up some special bags of Paydirt just for my giveaways for my Patreon. So no 3 winners tonight. KC. Bradley, how's it going? I haven't seen Dan Hurd in a while. Well, Dan Hurd just put out a video. You might have been unsubscribed if you haven't seen him. Dan just put out a video about what he's going to be doing for 2026. And I watched a lot of that one to see how he's been doing and stuff. I think it was a lot of the same. Pioneer Polly just put out a video. And if you didn't notice, Pioneer Polly had to call me out in his last video, And I could tell in the reference if he was calling me fat or not. So does anyone else think that Pioneer Polly was calling me fat in his last video? When he called me the heaviest of couch panners? Peter Papusha, how's it going? Well, good luck. I did not get the bonus bag, so I'm pretty obvious that this one I haven't seen any quartz. I think I'd have seen a piece of quartz by now. So, all right, Jeffrey Butt, no worries. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Sing down and mix up 4 bags of Paydirt. There you go. Groovy Gold Hunter, how's it going? Hope you got some good videos coming out this year. I will say, see, that is one. So I don't watch reviews, but like I said, I do skip stuff. If I see Groovy Gold Hunter puts out a video, I do usually watch his intro just to see who he's reviewing and stuff like that. Yeah, Dan Hurd is retiring. I mean, he's made his money, I mean, if you watch his last video, you can see that, what was it, like 5 years ago or whatever, when he decided to quit teaching? I guess it was like 4 years ago, maybe. And just go YouTube full time. He was making like what? YouTube said he was making about 125,000 a year, and those numbers are always very, very, or not very, very low, but they're usually pretty accurate, but on the low side. So, he's been making 150 grand a year just off of YouTube, and not to mention he probably makes that selling all his different, bluestones and Paydirt and everything else. So, I'm sure he set himself up nice to, get to the point where he knows now he can just put out like one video every month or something, and, and make enough income to, if you're making 150,000 a year pumping out, 36 videos, and you go down to making 12, you make 50 grand a year still, How about which lynch mining? So I saw the other day, I don't know who is it, but if it's anyone in the community that's here now, you're crazy. And if somebody's watching this later, you're crazy. But I saw on eBay, somebody was selling some lynch mining Paydirt. And they were selling the original bags, original lynch mining. They weren't the gizmos, I don't think. I think they were original. Yeah, maybe they were the gizmos. I think they were the original gizmo bags that used to sell for $20. And they have 0.2 grams of gold in them, because that's what they all averaged, was about 0.2 grams of gold in them. Well, that was on the high side. It was anywhere from 0.15 to 0.2. And they were selling, and they sold for like $80. I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's, why would you pay that much? I mean, I love my lynch mining, and I have some on my shelf. I mean, I love like to have one sitting on my shelf, but not that price. That was just crazy. Because it was funny. I was going to message him and like trying to haggle him down on the price, but I was like, I'll leave it there a week and see, so he gets more desperate. And it sold. I was like, oh, well. Use the pebble removal technique. Someone I watched for 3D printing, they went back to teaching full time because they wanted to. Yeah. I mean, I will say YouTube is, like, I like YouTube and I enjoy putting out content on YouTube, but it's also one of those things where this isn't my day job, and I wouldn't want it ever to be my day job, because I think that gets to be a slippery slope. Like if you retire and all of a sudden you're forced to make content and you're forced to get so many views and forced to do this, and then it stops being a fun hobby, Hey, Scott Roberts, how's it going? And these are bags. We're doing 2 bags. We did the 2 grammer, but these were both from Gold Nugget sales. It was his New Year's 105% ROI bags. I had a 2 grammer, and now we're going through the 4 grammer, trying to see if we got the bonus bags, and I didn't get the bonus bag, so. But that's okay. Yeah, it is a buyer's market. It was just, I thought it was crazy prices. And the fact that was that not that it sold, because I would have said, yeah, it probably will sell at that price eventually. But the fact that it sold within like 24 hours was just crazy. And then the funny thing was he listed one up like 2 days later and it sold just as quickly too. I was like, yeah, guess people want some old lynch mining pay dirt, so. But the thing is, he didn't tell people how much gold was in it, so I don't think people knew. They might have thought it was like one of the old 1 gram bags or something. I bought my bag for 16. Yeah, that's the if that's the original bag, if it just doesn't say it just says lynch mining on it, it's an original bag. That means it had 0.15 to 0.2 grams in it. I mean, I felt like it was funny. I felt like I spent a ton of money last year when I paid like, I think it was like 120 for like 4 of them. I paid like $40 a bag, and that was when gold was there. So I guess, I mean, maybe. I mean, I know I overpaid for my 2 jars on my shelf, but I was stung by. Yeah, I think everyone was stung by lynch, and it just, you know, yeah, it's one of the things where I think in his mind he was trying to do something, and he just it's one of those things like you see it a lot with like kitchens and restaurants where if a restaurant's going under, they start doing a lot of sales and discount nights and buy one get one nights and all kinds of things, and they're trying to bring business back, and then they keep just getting in deeper and deeper in debt, and then eventually they just close the restaurant. It happened to me. One of the restaurants I worked for when I was younger, um, I can't remember the name of it. Johnny Ryan's. Johnny Ryan's was a restaurant, and we worked there, and everyone knew it was going under because like every month he was having to have meetings with the shareholders and beg them for more money to the investors to keep the restaurant open because it just wasn't doing the business it was supposed to be doing for the location because it was in a very expensive neighborhood. And I remember he kept throwing these weird like cheap party nights where it'd be like really cheap steaks and stuff like that. And we were all like, man, what's going on? Why like if you're losing money, why are you selling like, $20 fillets for $10? It's like you're losing money on that. They're not going to come back. And sure enough, one day we all just showed up to work and it was closed and he was gone and we didn't get our paychecks or nothing. So, it was kind of that where I think he just kept getting farther and farther in the hole and just one day he just disappeared. So, I mean, I think about it. I keep meaning to look up because I have somewhere in my old text, like the listings to his house. I want to see if his house sold because I know he had put it up for sale. You know, but like I said, I think he just kept getting deeper and deeper. Like when me and another uh, uh Paydirt seller had started digging into his closing for my video that I did about him. Like he had taken out one of those predatory loans where, they lend you 50 grand, but they take like 10% of all your sales. Plus you have to pay them back the 50 grand. And it's like, you just can't get out of debt like that. You just get further and further in there. You know, yeah, big Texas was, that was, you know, lynch mining. So the thing about lynch mining is lynch mining had been a staple in the paydirt community for years, selling really good paydirts and stuff like that. And in the end, a lot of people got ripped off. But Big Texas was just, most of his ripoff was things like Patreon, and he was ripping off the same people over and over. He just, it was just, I didn't understand how people, like once lynch mining stopped shipping. So if you bought something from, they didn't communicate with you. If you spent $150 on a bag of paydirt from lynch mining, you didn't get any replies from them. People just weren't sending them more money. They were just like, okay, Lynch ripped me off for $150. It might have been a bigger order, but Big Texas would sit there and go on a live show and convince people like, oh yeah, I know I didn't send you that $500 of the paydirt, but if you buy $500 more, I'll send you $1,500. And people would send him $500 more, and he did it like month after month. Like I was on his Patreon up until I haven't looked at his Patreon in a while. But he was month after month. Oh, I'm making a comeback. I'm coming back. I need y'all to keep supporting me on Patreon. I'm getting ready to come back and blast out. And it was just like, man, come on. Yeah, Lynch does come for money. Yeah, like I said, I think he just got so far into debt. I don't know, like his personal problem. He had some personal problems with his wife and his baby and stuff like that, and losing his child. So I'm sure he was going through a lot of stuff like that, and it's one of those things where, like, I know he had taken some personal hits just from getting ripped off with Paydirt. Like, Lynch Mining, I think, was the first person to really do a 1 ounce nugget or a 1 ounce bucket. And I know he got ripped off for, I think, 6 of them. Like when he first opened, 6 of the ones he sold were all credit card fraud. And he did not get the vast majority of the money back. So it was just things like, I think it just kept adding up. And, he kept trying to make his profit more and more and more. And he just got deeper and deeper. And, since he was the only one too, like the rest of his family's all in California, I think they kind of used that as a, why don't you just come back here, come back in the fold, come work at the vineyard, Yeah, by the way, if anyone is owed money by Lynch Mining, I would personally, Lynch Mining doesn't owe me any money, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, Lynch Mining, his parents do own a vineyard. Rhett's parents own a vineyard in California with the name Lynch tied to it. So, I would be emailing them saying, hey, why don't you make your son pony up and, go on Google and, like, oh, look, here's a review section. Oh, this wine would be good if their son wouldn't have ripped me off for his Paydirt, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I'm just saying there's, if you can't contact him, there's ways to find other people to contact. So, Yeah. Yeah, I think what's sad though is probably because it's happened before where people in the community, and it's going to happen. It's one of the things is it's such a great community and everyone is so trusting in this community that every once in a while we get these people who, show up and they end up just ripping off a couple people and doing that. But the worst thing is a lot of them end up coming back or trying to come back, Yeah, John, like I said, there's a vineyard in California that you can easily find that is owned by his family. I would start emailing them. Just become, it's one of those things. I used to do this with I still do it, but with my health insurance. What the junk? Is if you just keep emailing somebody, eventually they get tired of you and they just give you what you want. I had been denied for some dental work, and I just emailed them over and over. Not emailed them, I just mailed them every single week. I just appealed every single week. I filed and filed and filed and filed until finally I guess they figured, hey, look, we're spending more time just telling this dude no than it's worth just tell him yes, and they approved it, even though nothing had changed. Like all the information I was sending them was the exact same, and they were still denying it every single time. Eventually, just wear them out. So, yeah, that's the thing. Can't stop me now. It is to be a liar takes more energy. To be a crook takes more energy than it does to not be. But unfortunately, I don't want to, I don't know how to say this nicely. But ever since the invention of the internet, and I think things like TikTok and things like that, has made it a lot easier for people to rip people off. So I think more and more people lead towards that, and just they see it and say, oh, this, not specifically Bitcoin itself, but, with meme coins and things like that. Where you have like pretty much everyone in the world coming out with you know, a meme coin, and them and their 5 or 6 friends make millions and everyone else makes nothing. So yeah, there's none. I know 100% for a fact there's no gold in those 40-pound boxes. And the thing about it was just a way for him to like, so I knew for a fact like a lot of Patreon members, he owed them hundreds of dollars, and he was like, "Oh, I'll send you this box as a tide over until I can catch up." But he was just sending you dirt, so it cost him, 25 bucks to send you a box of nothing in it. And meanwhile, he's keeping everyone and doing more raffles and stuff like that. It's just. Scott, I like Northern Nevada Gold. And I think personally, I think Northern Nevada Gold right now is a good time to buy from him because he's pretty slow at raising his prices. But I think he's going to go up his 3 gram bag or 2 gram bag will go up to $320 within the next week or so. He's going to raise his prices soon, I think, if gold keeps going up a little bit. So right now, it's because usually he keeps his Paydirt around 89% ROI. And the last time he raised his prices was when it got to 93% ROI. And the last time I looked, I think it was like 92.7 or something like that. So he should be raising his price. That's a weird looking rock. His prices soon. But I like him because he has some chunky gold. It's not as much fun to pan out. But, if you're doing a 1 gram bag of Paydirt and you get a half-gram little nugget in there, it's always nice. So. Oh, is he? Jason, oh. I don't want to say anything negative, about, but, karma or, doing evil things begets evil. It's just, short term money being bad person is never, never worth it. You know, there's a lot, if you ever see some like crooked people that are really, really rich that, made all their money being crooked, they don't look happy. They don't look happy. Where if you see some guy who's, had a good life and was honest and made his money, they generally tend to look happy. So, but yeah, Jason Keith was another one of the ones that just, Curtis, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, I like Northern Nevada. Yeah. He's in my top 10. He's my newest member of my top 10. So, and I'm actually probably next month I might redo my top 10. I'm thinking I haven't decided yet. It's a lot harder to keep track of because usually my top 10, since they are in my daily ROI, I keep track of them. And I know if they, stop selling, if they're out of stock and stuff like that. But there's a couple top 10 sellers I'm thinking about putting or changing my top 10 sellers to add eBay sellers. And it's something I've been not wanting to do because eBay is a lot more finicky. Like, people go bad on eBay a lot quicker than they will on a website. So, yeah. I'm not saying money doesn't fix problems, but there's that plateau, you know, like there's a reason why how many billionaires and millionaires have filed bankruptcy, you know, it's just, but it just always amazes me that you'll see people that, they like do all these scams or do these things. And it's just like, you know, they're not happy. But then they want more and more money, so they keep doing it. But what's up, Jason? How's it going? Flower Gold Wizards in the house. How them cobbles been treating you? And the gold. I'm extremely happy too, and I am very poor. Yeah. I think what was it? I was watching something on the news or something. I was reading an article. I don't actually watch the news, but I was reading an article. I was reading an article about what the median, like, what the federal government considers to be poor or whatever. And I'm like, wow, I'm way below that. I was like, oh, I need to step up my game a little bit so I can still be poor. I'm like, they're gonna make a new classification for me. Modern Michigan Prospector, how's it going? A3 Sky back is back. Yeah, so it's one of the reasons, talking about, crooked people, it's one of the reasons this year I've kind of gotten away from it for the last couple of years just because it's more expensive to do. But I am going to start reviewing bad sellers, a lot more of them. So every month I plan on having, even if it's, so it might not end up being a bad seller, but I'm going to try to review as many sellers who have, like, low priced Paydirt with huge, like, oh, this is a giant nugget bag. You're going to find so much gold that you won't believe how much gold there is. And, and it's only 25 bucks. So I'm gonna do a lot more reviews on those. They tend to generally be rip-offs, and I usually just throwing my money away or my Patreon members' money away. But I think, as gold is getting more and more expensive, more people are going to be heading towards cheaper bags of Paydirt. Spending 200 bucks on a 1 gram bag of Paydirt is going to start getting pretty hard to do. So people are going to start saying, well, I'll spend 40 on a bag of Paydirt, and I don't want people to get rip off. So this year I am going to focus and make sure every month I do at least one video about a seller who supposedly has a bad bag of Paydirt, or, I think is going to be a bad bag of Paydirt. So yeah. Well, see, I'm lucky I'm not married. I need to keep all my own money, which isn't much. It's close to that $100 range, Jason. After I feed my kids and stuff like that and feed myself, it's kind of like I feel the same way. So, but yeah. 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 Yeah, because originally Rhett was supposed to be a chef. He went to school to be a chef. And I forget what his brother did. His brother, but most of his family stayed in California. I don't know why. I remember Rhett telling me why he moved to Arizona, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was to be a chef. Maybe that's where he went to school or something. Then he just decided, just halfway through school, decided I want to do gold mining thing. So Alaskan Assassin, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And if anyone wants to scroll up, don't forget to scroll up. There is a comment, a hidden comment that Nightbot posts with a link. Make sure you go follow that link to my hidden video. Leave a comment on the hidden video. And after we're finished panning out all this Paydirt, I'm going to pull one name, and that one person will then get a spin on the Wheel of Treasures, and you can win something, including a bag of Paydirt. I think the top prize is a bag of Paydirt from Gold Nugget Sales with a 1/4 gram of gold in it. So you can win some of that shiny gold tonight. All you got to do is scroll up and find the link, or wait till one of my mods drop the hidden link again. So there we go. See, Nightbot just dropped it again. So, but if you're on a delay, which most people are, just scroll up some and you'll see the thing Nightbot says, win a chance to spin on the wheel, and there'll be a link. Go follow that video and it'll say hidden video on it. Yeah. All right, we're getting down there. We got a little bit left. Yeah. Nobody's getting $2,000. You didn't see? They just asked Trump about that the other day. You remember he said it. He's a politician. He promises and doesn't deliver. When it comes to money back to the people, they all, you're not getting that $2,000. They're not lowering the deficit. They're not going to do anything. That's it. They're just going to keep printing money as long as they can until it just collapses. And that's for our future people, not them. There's a reason why politicians no longer care to really make giant changes in this country the right way. It's because they're all old. They're all really, really old. So if this all collapses, if, just everything goes into anarchy in 20 years from now, they won't be here. They do not care, You put in a whole bunch of 30-year-old politicians who know they're going to be around and they're going to be old when, they're 80-year-old person does not care about, Social Security because they're not going to collect it. They're already getting their, if you look at it, Congress last year, Congress worked all of last year. Congress only worked 87 days, 87 days, and they got full pay. They got their full pay. They got guaranteed health care. They got theirs, for 87 days of work. All politicians should be on an hourly wage. They might be a high hourly wage, but if they don't work, then they got to do it. But you put a whole bunch of 30-year-olds in office that know, that when they retire, they're going to have to get something, they're going to need Social Security, Yeah, that's it. Like Skeeter. And this is not like one-sided. It's just all politicians. I remember I was talking to somebody about it a while back. The problem is that as long as they have lobbyists, there's nothing you can do. You cannot make change in this country as long as there are lobbyists. It is the one thing that is the hugest downfall in our country is lobbyists. Because, it's hard to say, like tell people like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then some guy gives you $20 million for your reelection fund. You're not going to be like, oh, well, hold on, let me get rid of his business. No. And it's both sides. They all, everybody has sponsors. I remember I used to tell people a long time ago, what they should do is if you get on the ballot, it's kind of the way it used to be, is anybody could get on the ballot to be on any political office, and you would have to meet certain demands. Like to become president, you would obviously need so many names from every state being signed saying you could run for president. And then what they should do is just the government should just give you money. The government should just say, hey, you each, if there's 10 candidates, you each get $1 million to spend any way you want on advertising to advertise. That's it. You all get an equal playing field. We will do debates. We'll do this. We'll do that. Every single politician. But the problem is, so if you look at it, there's a thing, it's called matching funds, where if you're a politician, like say if you're running for president, and let's say you get in $50 million, the federal government will match that money for you to do advertising. In the last, I think something like 4 elections, not one single person running took those matching benefits. Because if you take those matching benefits, you have to report who all your donors are much more, with a lot more scrutiny behind it. So none of them take that matching money. Can you imagine that? Like if your job told you right now, like, hey, whatever you earn this year, we will double. But all you have to do is tell us, like, if you do something illegal, or if you cut any corners at work, Yeah. So, and again, it's all politicians. It's not one-sided. It's just, like I said, they're all too old. they just don't know stuff. I mean, people are making fun of Biden being old and forgetting stuff. I mean, you can watch, our current president, he forgets stuff all the time. Half of Congress doesn't even know anything. It's just I need a sponsor, so there should just be, rules and stuff like that. Like I always thought that, like if you ran for a political office, you should have certain steps or things you have to do every single month. Just like a job. Like if you work at a job, they tell you, you have to accomplish this. You have to make 10 widgets a day. That's your job. If you work for Amazon, you have to deliver so many packages. You have to box so many packages. Everyone has something they have to do. If you're a waiter, you have to serve so many tables or do this. If you're a cook, you have to cook things. Politicians technically don't have to do anything. They can say, hey, just kind of, did this, do that. Make politicians have to do certain things. Like if you're, a mayor, then every week you must have a meeting with the governor to talk about things, what to improve. If you're a congressman, you should have to meet with all of your, governors and mayors once a month, so they can tell you. Because that's what I never understood. It's like once you become like a congressman for your state, a lot of times they don't, they move to Washington. It's like, what? Now you're not even in your state anymore. You're not talking to the people. You don't know what they really want or care. You're just, make them be forced to talk to people from the, councilmen should have to have once a week meetings with somebody else higher up. And that higher person should have to talk to somebody else higher up once a month. And just, make them all have to talk. So that way, if you've got, if you're in Congress and every single month you've got a Zoom call with, 30 councilmen all screaming at you, telling you we need this, then maybe they'll get it done. Yeah. But you can't do nothing. What you gonna do? I'm in the worst part about it is I'm getting old. So by the time I become president, I'm gonna be in my 70s, and somebody's gonna replay this video and say, "Hey, look, didn't you say here that you should have young people? You're 80 years old, Mr. Miller, prospecting president." And then I'll have to be like, "Oh man, get this reporter out of here, lock him up." But, I will say, the one thing that people seem to forget about is you can always make change. You just have to vote, and just, eventually, it goes in. There we go. There's that. This one looks like the last one I got. I think it's a matcher. The last one I got. No, I've not seen the distinguished gentleman. Most political offices are, part-time jobs, unfortunately. But, as long as they leave gold mining alone, I'm okay with politicians. Just remember, you can make a stand in case it ever happens and they outlaw small-time miners all over this country. You just have to do a walkout. If people don't remember, a long, long time ago, before women could vote and stuff like that, women got sick of it. And every single secretary in this country did a walkout, and they stopped going to work for a couple days. And things changed really, really quickly when, half the country was no longer working, and and nobody would answer phones, and, messages weren't getting sent and things like that. Things changed really, really quickly. But also always be peaceful. So it's a funny political movie with Eddie Murphy. I'll have to watch it. I like Eddie Murphy. I might have actually seen it then if it's got Eddie Murphy in it. And remember, I am 57 and I will soon be trying to run for president. So my mental faculties aren't all there. It's one of the prerequisites to run for president or higher offices. You have to be slightly loopy. There's a reason why the White House has its own pharmacist who works. They actually have their own pharmacy in the White House. And I think it's for like ever since I think Nixon. I think since Nixon's been in there, like the number one prescription is like Adderall and speed. Not asthma inhalers or blood pressure medicine or things for cholesterol. It's speed. It's like, for the last 24 years. And so they can, once you're senile or, you're start getting a little old, you can, pop a pill and manage to go do stuff. Yeah. I think it's, I mean, what did thought I read somewhere where it's going to still take like 10 years or 20 years before the penny's actually no longer around, just because there's so many of them in circulation. So yeah, it will be crazy when there's no longer any pennies around. It'll be crazy. I just want to see the price of them on eBay. Yeah, Viagra. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, it's all like the crazy stuff that's what I said. They go to the regular pharmacist to get like blood pressure and cholesterol medicine and stuff like that. But, once they get in the White House, they're like, oh, yeah, give me Viagra and speed. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, what could you possibly need a pharmacy inside of the White House for? I mean, it's not like you couldn't get a Secret Service agent to run down to their local Walgreens at any time of the day and get something you needed, And I might have to buy some slabbed pennies just to add to my kids' collection, just to, for old time's sake, once the penny's gone. I'll have to do some research into any good pennies that are worth buying. So if anyone knows any good pennies, drop it down below. What's a good penny I should look for that would be slabbed? Now, obviously, don't tell me some like $20,000 penny, but is there like a good $50 penny or something out there, or $25 penny that'll keep going up in value? I know nothing about pennies. I know a lot about dimes, but not pennies, so. I'm at 67, 2025. What, did you just pick one up? I saw you picked up some coins the other day. So if I get them, I'm curious about the pennies, because unless it's a certain year, if there's no like certain years that are like really good for something, I will probably get them in my kids' birthdays. A double die. Okay. Well, is that a super expensive one? You did, but can get more. So now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole tomorrow, looking at pennies, trying to see which ones are good. So. Yeah, I saw the other day. I saw a store. I was reading on Reddit that some stores are already switching to the pennies. I would figure Walmart will be one of the first ones to get rid of pennies just because half their machines don't even accept cash anymore. Like they want you to check out yourself. 50ish? Okay. 1995 double die. Let me write that down. 1995 double die. Then what is it? HD MS67 2025. Yeah. Yeah, I want a penny that's like collectible. You know, if it's just a regular penny, then it's just gonna be a regular penny. But if it's something that's harder to get or rare, then obviously they'll get more rare once the no more pennies around. So in other words, I need to find errors. All right. Those are 60 through 73. Ah, that's cool. Because, see, I wanted to get 68, so I'll find some 68 errors. That's what I'll do. 68 errors. See if there's a specific error I can find. Hmm. I think anything older than 82, all copper, worth 3 cents a day. Well, I know old pennies. I know, like I've said it before, I know somebody that's got tons of pennies, like literal tons of pennies, of copper pennies at their house, because they had to have an engineer come out to check their flooring to see if it was holding up to all the weight of the pennies. So, you know. Yeah, I have a change jar as well. Every year I go through it for um quarters. I go through the quarters and look for West Point quarters, and that's about it. That's about all I can do is look for West Point quarters. And I look through the dimes to look for any Mercuries or older, but I just don't have the patience to look for error coins or the eyes. My eyes just aren't good enough. Too much information I need to know. Hmm. Like I watch some shows, like I'll watch a couple of YouTubers. Like if there's somebody on, I'll see that's live that's like coin roll hunting, or like pennies and nickels and stuff, and they're like scrutinizing every nickel. Like, oh, this is a 74. Let me look for this double cracked die error. Like, what? How do you remember all these errors for every year? uh, I've been doing bulk pennies as well. Yeah, I planned. I'm gonna have to do it soon. I think I said last week. I want to do a copper penny floor in my kitchen, um, and a backsplash. But I need to buy the pennies up soon before they get really outrageous price wise. Yeah, I just can't keep up with stuff like that. I'm too old for my brain to really get new information in it. It's just like, I don't know, that's new information. We're not learning. Too old. We don't need you to learn. They're already too expensive. Yeah, I know. That's why I haven't been buying. It's one of those things where you kind of put stuff off, and you're like, oh, I don't want to spend $100. Then you go back, like 2 or 3 months later, and you're like, ah, man, I don't want to spend $140. Then you go back, 3 months later, you're like, ah, it's up to 180. Yeah, there's been a particular bag of Paydirt I've wanted for a long, long time. I'm not gonna say what it is, but there's been one bag of Paydirt. It's not a 1 ounce bag of Paydirt. It's in that range, but it's not a 1 ounce bag of Paydirt. And I've wanted it ever since it came out to do a video on. And it has been, so every year I do a calendar with this is the videos I want to shoot every year. And it has been on every single year's calendar that I've come out. But every single month, when I think about it, it's gotten more expensive. So it's a lot more expensive just because gold's going up so crazy. I mean, last year at this last year at this time, gold was what, like $75 a gram. So it's almost doubled in price. So every time I look at it, I'm like, I can't afford it still. I can't afford it. Hmm. Yeah, I've been deleting stuff. The problem is it just now all my connectors are broken, so it won't let me add new stuff still. So yeah, this is a nice bobble. And don't forget, there is still the nugget too. So all right, come on. I need you to move. Black Sands ain't moving. I just need you to move. Yeah, I can tell you, I have one in my cart on eBay that's been in my cart for the last 3 years. And it's another one of the things. That's another one that I keep saying, like I want the 96 Mercury Dime Gold, and the prices keeps going up and up and up. I had some two gold coins I sold right before the end of the year just to replace with other gold coins because I needed smaller ones. I got some 1/10. But yeah, that's like, to me, that's like, I have like, bags of Paydirt and stuff, but the crown jewel for my kids' collection would be each one of them have you know, a 96 gold Mercury dime, preferably slabbed, but once they throw them in those NGC things, it's like an extra $100. We need salt to be worth something. Salt is worth something. It's $1 billion industry. Yeah. Hey, Bradley again. Yeah, Gold Bay has been coming out with some good Paydirt. I really like the one he's sold out now. That I mean, I didn't get a great bag, but it was more of his old bag. That's one of the things that used to make Gold Bay so popular back in the day was that Dave was mining. So, he would throw in all his mining tailings, he would throw in stuff. And I mean, it was kind of like Yukon Alley, where, you'd get these bags of Paydirt 1 gram and you'd find, 2.5 grams in a 1 gram bag, or, 5 grams in a 3 gram bag, like craziness, like not just a little bit over, not like finding like, wow, this bag was 1.3 grams. It was a 1 gram bag. People finding, double and triple the amount of gold they were supposed to get. And, because he was just throwing in his mining tailings and stuff like that. And the last bag he came out was like really reminded me of that. I was kind of mad that when he came out with the 1 grammer, I didn't buy like 2 or 3 of them for Tuesday night shows, but I was busy and then he ran out. So yeah, groovy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those were like his old bags. That's what his old Paydirt like used to be. Like people don't remember, but when Dave used to sell, he would just send everything in like these old like burlap bags, and like you would get it in the mail and dirt would be pouring out of the bags. You would still find the gold. Like it would be a 3 pound bag in these old nylon, like these old orange nylon bags that just leaked. And you'd throw it in a box and you'd get these 3 pound bags of Paydirt and you'd be like, oh, I'm supposed to get a gram, and you always found more than a gram with a leaky bag that was just been leaking all while it traveled across the country. And they used to just be the most fun bags of Paydirt because you never knew what you were going to get. Like you knew you were going to get, the guaranteed ROI, but man, sometimes you'd hear people telling crazy amounts of gold they'd find. And this one was more like it. So I hope he does more like that in the future, but I think it's just because he got on like, really good ground. I don't remember. I think he had a Build-A-Bag at one point. I know somebody did. I don't remember who it was though. I remember somebody had a Build-A-Bag. But honestly, if you got these bags from I mean, I hope he brings them back like one more time, but this probably will, since Dave really doesn't have anything to do with gold, the Paydirt anymore, these types of bags are going to be really rare from him. So, I think it's Harrington. I think Harrington is the guy who's running it now. And he's a good guy and I like him. And he's been around forever too, you know, but his is strictly a Paydirt business. He knows how much gold is going in every bag. He knows how much, his profit margins are and stuff like that. Yeah, you definitely save those. I'm hoping he comes out with more when he hits more, digs deeper into it. So, like the next time, see, the good thing about Dave is whenever Dave needs more money is when he does really good deals like this. So hopefully he needs some more money soon so he can he'll send Harrington a whole bunch more dirt. So, is Harrigan? Okay, Harrigan, that's it. 9 finger mining's paid. That should be a blast, brother. That'll keep you busy for a while. Is Bierman in the house? Jaeger, how's it going? Dave said he was bringing the motherboard bags back as soon as the ground dried out. That's awesome. And how's it going, Bierman? It was funny today. So Bierman, today I was trying to do my gold fact for Nightbot today. So I looked up best gold mine in gold mine facts for Longview, Washington, and your store showed up. That's what it said. I was like, I don't know if that's really a gold mine, but all right. So there we go. Looks like I got all of it. Now I am not going to weigh up this nugget because this nugget, I thought I lost it for a second. This nugget might be in the next gold guessing contest because I don't have any other nuggets really except for this one and the last one I got, which I kind of weighed up in the video, so I can't use it. Now, where's the other pile of gold? So here we go. 2 piles of gold. There we go. Some little chunkies. So no bonus bags, but still really, really fun bags of Paydirt to go through. And that just means somebody else gets those bonus bags. You can't use that. You know the weight. You know the approximate weight. And it would be mixed in with another one. And it's always whoever guesses first. So I mean, I think we all know how much that one weighs. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to start buying some gold nuggets or something. Start borrowing some. I wish I was closer to some of these gold sellers. I'd be like, hey, can I borrow this for a video for a minute? Yeah. But all right, ugly mug time. Oh, that's awesome, and Bierman, I appreciate the offer, but I'll probably just do like I don't want to have tons of pennies for my kids. I just want one for each of them, and I'll just go. And I like having things. Everything I've been collecting for them, if it's coin wise, is NGC graded. So I'll just go find some NGC. Something I can buy like one a month, or one every 2 or 3 months. I can say, okay, here's $40. It is, man. It's all for you, man. You just have to come here and collect it and hand me a briefcase full of money. And that's in bills, not pennies. All right, what is this? It's ugly mug time. Let me shrink down the pans. But those were both fun. I enjoyed those. I always enjoy the gold nugget sales. There's a reason he's number one. I don't have enough gold to lend. Yeah, me either. That was one of the problems with me getting rid of my little gold collection to pay off debt or pay off some of my debt and my medical bills and stuff like that for my son. Is that now I don't have any nuggets for the gold guessing. I would totally take it in pennies. Oh no! Like I said earlier in the show, as much as I say I want to win the bonus bags, there's a reasons why I don't enter too many contests or things like that. The only reason I even bought these was because one of the things I do know about Gold Nugget sales is when he makes bonus bags, he might change this in the future, but currently in all the other previous bonus bags he's done have always been the first bags because he dumps them. You see him on camera dumping it into a bag, and they put that bag and a couple others on the shelf. So if you're one of the first, 24 buyers, you're going to get a bonus bag. And I just wanted it for a video. It made it a little better to make the video into a hunt video as opposed to just this is just a regular review. I want super zoom on the gold. Unfortunately, that camera, the zoom doesn't really get that good on that camera. That camera is pretty old. I need to replace it soon. Yeah, both mics have absolutely great Paydirt. They're my favorite sellers. There's a reason why Mike and Mike are number 1 and 2 on MillerProspecting.com. So, I love them both. I text them both, asking what's up. No. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something that's it's like halfway through the month. So it's one of the things that sucks about this gold guessing contest is I always have to have gold for the next month way before the next month starts. So I've got like 2 weeks to figure it out. I'll have to look into it. So I want to get one of the GNS 2026 bags for my birthday panning live coming up. That's awesome. Yeah, they're good bags, The only thing, I will say, if preference-wise, even though I will say GNS is my favorite Paydirt seller, I do sometimes like the Vendetta Paydirt just because of the amount of material. If they were both equal and I had to say I could only pan out one, it would probably be a Vendetta bag just because of the amount of material for my live shows. Now, non-live show, that's totally different. But, with GNS, if you're getting one of his 1 gram bags, because, these live shows, I can't afford to always be doing 3 grams and 4 grams. The GNS is 12 ounces of material. So for a live show, it's harder to pan out, or it takes, 30 minutes to pan out a 12 ounce bag of Paydirt. Whereas with the, but for Vendetta, it's usually a 2.5 pound bag of Paydirt. So it takes you, an hour to pan it out, hour and a half. So they're both the same price. It is a webcam. All my cams are webcams. So they're all the Logitech C920s. I think, yeah. So, yeah, all the overhead, the panning cam, those are all C930s or C920s. And I used to use a C930 for the face cam, but I just changed it. It's some new Logitech. But I do need to replace all my cameras. They've been here for a really long time, collecting dust inside of them. So, one of these days, but the panning cam is the one that needs to be replaced the soonest because it is just coated and it's all glued in place, so I can't take it down to to clean it very well. So I have a 2 pound Vendetta. That's good. I use GoPros. GoPros cost too much money. A C930 will cost me about $60. A GoPro will cost me about $400. And I have 3 cameras, so that's $1,200 worth of webcams. It's way too much. The C920. So it's the C920 is the two I use for overheads. And then for the old face I used to use was the C930 because it's a widescreen. And that way it would show all my shelves. Because the C920 will only cover up to about these black shelves. The C920 would only go to there. So I got the C930. And this is, I think, the C932, but I think it's like a X model or something like that. Rio Tinto. Yeah, I think a lot of the times, a lot of the mines that get gold as a byproduct is because it's so hard to get the gold out. Like there's just so much involved. Like it's not just, like vein gold, where it's gold that they'll have to leach out. And then it just becomes very, very expensive and you need chemicals. And then you have to start dealing with, like not leaking the chemicals out and stuff like that. And it just gets to be very expensive. You need so much, like when they talk about gold mining, big companies, you have to find X amount of gold to be profitable. Like you have to. I mean, like if you watch the Yukon Alleys videos or just anything on, they don't do it so much on the Gold Rush show because Discovery Channel pays them vast amounts of money. But like if you have a gold mine and you say I'm using $1,000 worth of diesel a day, you have to find $1,000 worth of gold that day after it's been cleaned and everything else. You can't just find $1,000 worth of gold and say, okay, I broke even, because then you have to get somebody to, clean that gold out and get it out of there. And then you have to bring it over there and have it melted down and sold. And so you end up having to find like double to triple, I've been looking at the Brio. Here, let me see. What is it? That's what I have. So that's my new one. I have to look up my OBS to see what it's listed under. But yeah, so my overhead cams are the C920s because they're smaller pictures. They don't do widescreen. And then my forward cam was always the C930. It's the one I always used for years and years. And just last year, I swapped from the C930 to the Brio. I'm not sure if I like it that much better. I mean, they're about the same. The Brio is a little bit better for adjusting like lighting and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm surprised about that too, HD. I think a lot of it has to do with just, like I said, it's all the environmental stuff. I think a lot of these mines, the problem with a lot of mines when they're closed is that when they close them, they leave them pretty dirty. So to reopen them means that they have to go back through inspections, and then that's where they don't want to deal with the red tape of the government. So I'm sure eventually they will. Yeah, most gold miners do go broke. Yeah, I mean, you can read any of the old history. I used to read a lot about old during the gold rush about old gold miners, and you would hear it all the time where people would like, 1 week they find, back then $100,000 worth of gold, and they're like, oh, top of the hill. So then they'd buy bigger claims and more stuff and hire more people to go mining, and then they'd go broke. And then they're like, and I mean, really, really broke. Then they're going to work for somebody else, and then they'll go work a stream, find $20,000 of the gold in one day, and be like, okay, I'm back at the top of the hill. They'll go mine that area and find another 100 grand, and then they're broke again when they open a new one. It's why there's very few like gold miners who like stick it out forever. The smart ones are the ones that, most gold miners that are still in business and have been in business that are, small time miners, not big corporations that just level an entire mountain. But the smaller time miners that have, like 2 excavators and things like that, that are mining, those are the ones that just, they don't try to drain their entire property in 1 year. Like they don't say, hey, let's just strip mine the entire 40 acres and get all the gold out this year, make $1 million, and then move somewhere else, or whatever it is, a $10 million. So like if you owned a 40 acre claim and it had $10 million on it, you had 2 options. You could go in and just strip mine the whole thing, try and get 10 million out 1 year. Or you could say, hey, I'm going to mine it and I'm going to get, $250,000 out a year and just slowly work it till I retire, Yeah, and that's it. So, yeah. So once reopening something is always really hard. Cause I know that's in Colorado, I know they tried to open a lot of old mines, a lot of old gold mines, and they're just flooded with toxic chemicals, like horrible, horrible chemicals, because they used to use horrible, horrible chemicals back in the 20s and 30s because they didn't have so many regulations. So you go on the bottom of a lot of these Colorado mine shafts and the liquid there will just kill you. If you go in it, you'll kill it. And then you're going to say, so if you think, okay, I got to open it, you're going to go in there and inspections are going to come and they're going to say, okay, you need to get rid of all these chemicals. That's going to cost you $1 million just to pump it out. But then you can't just pump it out and down the hill into a stream. You've got to pump it out into barrels and go find a place to store those barrels for, 100,000 years until they're no longer toxic. So then you start saying, okay, well, now to open the mine, it's going to cost me $5 million. And you don't even know if there's really going to be $5 million worth of gold. You hope there is, because just it's based on old knowledge and stuff like that. But yeah. I wish GNS would offer the weekender back. He might do that. You never know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, we all know why he brought the weekender back. It was because everyone was calling for and talking about the old Lynch Mining 5-pound bags of Paydirt. But the problem is when Lynch Mining came out with those 5-pound bags of Paydirt, it was at the right time. Gold was $60 a gram. Shipping was a lot cheaper back then. You could ship a priority mail box. So I think whatever box he was shipping them in, he was shipping them in those little ones. It was like $6, $7, $7.25. He was putting 0.20. He was putting $10 worth of gold in them plus shipping is $17, and he was selling them for $25 plus the $7 in shipping. So he was making $10 per little bitty box he was shipping. Nowadays, though, you go do that, if you think about it, that's $30 worth of gold, $15 worth of shipping. So that's $45. It's a lot harder to do. He had it at the perfect time. My dad hated the weekender bag. Yeah. What I would do, so I would not do, I don't know, what did you ship the weekender in? Was it just a bubble mailer? So, because I always told everyone that the best Paydirt, the most valuable and the cheapest way to ship a ton of Paydirt is in a priority mail box, the small box. And I think they can hold right around 3.5 pounds of dirt. I mean, it's hard to get it in there, but you can. It's the most economical one sitting there. So, and even it's getting expensive. And there's a little trick you can do to make the small box a little bit cheaper. I think you can save 50 cents. There's a little hack that you can do for the small priority mail box to save yourself 50 cents when you ship those. But even then, I think that's like the best option. So however much Paydirt that can hold. No. I don't think anyone ever looks happy when they're just shoveling dirt into a bucket. So... Oh, that's awesome, Bierman. I didn't even know I gave one of those away. Oh, that must have been one of the ones when we were doing a live show and he gave it away. So priority mail bubble. Yeah. Yeah, you can fit a lot more stuff in those. So, but I think, aren't they? They're like, it's been a while since I've shipped anything boxes. I'm 100% a 12-ounce person now. Everything has to be 12 ounces or less. I haven't been keeping up on priority mail prices. But yeah, I think the best, like I said, I think the best way to sell bulk gold nowadays is just in a priority mail small box. So, like I said, it's just the ROI. It's hard with shipping. It's just getting harder and harder. Everything is going against the Paydirt hobby. Somebody up high has decided, we want to make this hobby as hard as possible to keep good ROIs. The post office is raising prices. Gold is going up fast, just as fast as the post office is. Is buying gold contact pins for smelting a good investment? If you can smelt them, if you can do it and you know how to not get ripped on them. No, there's a lot. Essentially, you have to do that. I mean, I've used to watch a lot of videos about people doing the contact pins. You have to get them astronomically cheap. Like you can't buy them on eBay. Anyone that's selling them on eBay, like if you're buying a bulk on eBay, they are selling them more than it would cost them to do it. Otherwise, they would do it. So, like if you can get them yourselves, like I know most of the people that make money off of things like that are the people who get them themselves. Like they work in an electronics store and they take the stuff that would get thrown away. Like if you worked at Geek Squad and they're like, oh yeah, throw that stuff away, and they just put it in their pocket and they're like, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like on eBay, once it goes on eBay, people pay higher prices. And the reason they pay higher prices too is because most of the people that are paying the higher prices are people who have YouTube channels. So then they will put out a YouTube channel and say, hey, look, look how much money I made off these pins. And then you're like, oh, wow, they made a whole bunch of money. Let me go buy some. And then they're getting the views. So their channel is paying for them. They don't mind paying, double what they should pay because, AdSense is going to give them a check. So it is I don't know. It's, gold is going up fast. And then, shipping. Every time I go to the post office, my mailman tells me, I mean, literally every time, prices are going up next week. It's like, didn't they just go up? But all right, let's go. Let me get rid of the gold. Bye gold. We're going to start doing the stuff for tonight's hidden comment. Let me make sure that is working. Yeah. So, all right, let's get. What are we doing? Getting the link, hidden comment. Let me make sure all the comments are going through. If one of my mods wants to drop the hidden link, I would appreciate it. Make sure you go follow that link, leave a comment. All right, they're all going through. Here we go. So, as always, let me just get this out of the way. This giveaway is 100% by me, and YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. It's 100% by me just to give back to people who put up with my ugly mug tonight. We had a good little bunch. I saw at one point we had 79 people in here. So, Street Tip sells his bars for 2 times spot. Yeah, and it's stuff like that. YouTubers, big YouTubers, anytime you see anything, like I saw something the other day, it was funny. It was like on TikTok or something. Somebody was like, they were talking about how you could take old silver spoons and turn them into rings. And I was like, let me just look on eBay to see how much these things. And there were so many people selling them. I'm like, yeah, he was saying like, oh, I buy, I get one silver spoon, and he was like, I pay $10 for it and I sell it for $40. But then you go look on eBay and somebody's selling that exact same spoon ring for like $12. It's like, well, yeah, so if you bought it for 10 and sold it for 12, you made zero money. It's just so many different. There's always somebody undercutting. The first couple people that find something good are the ones that make money. Then after that, nobody. Oh, that sucks, brother. That sucks. Yeah, I don't, no, I'm not. I don't follow anything. The only sport I watch is UFC. That's it. I only watch UFC. Well, I mean, I watch other, um, MMA fighting. That's it. MMA is about the only sport I watch anymore. So. Just because I've moved around and I pay attention to the Steelers every once in a while. Like I saw they got absolutely whooped by, Houston the other night. But, I don't watch them too much. I'll look them up and see how they do every game. So that's about it. My TV is 100% digital now, and I don't have an antenna anymore. So, I can't watch any of the football games on, and I refuse to pay. Yes, I'm smart. I bought my Paramount Plus last year, December, beginning of December. I bought a year subscription because I knew they were going to raise the prices, and they're raising the prices. So if you're not already a Paramount Plus and you like the UFC, get your year subscription in now, because of their first match on the 23rd. Their next match, I think, is the 24th. On the 23rd, they're raising their prices. So. That's like the first few people to get ostriches. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's anytime, if you see something on YouTube and it's popular, then it's no longer feasible for it's the same thing where people are like, oh, go FBA on Amazon. Yeah, the first 100 people that were FBA on Amazon made. What are you doing? Cat's trying to get my gold. No, get away from my gold. The first few people that were FBA sellers on Amazon made millions and millions. Nowadays, it's just you can't some Chinese guy is going to undercut, someone from China is going to undercut you, or some guy that's a millionaire that can lose money on you selling soap. He'll undercut you and lose money just to get you out of there. You can't do that anymore. So, yep, college is better, but money will wreck it. Yeah. Well, if you can get a scholarship, but they don't have those things anymore. Scholarships are pretty much all dried up now. How much is Star Trek on Paramount? I don't know. I don't actually even watch Paramount. I bought the subscription, and I think only thing I watched was the new show with the guy from Hawkeye or whatever, where he plays like the guy in the prison town or something. I watched that show. So yeah. Yeah, betting is ruining all sports. It's ruining all of them. In a couple more years, it's going to just be absolutely crazy. So, I did see, who was it? Somebody just ended like their affiliation with one of the biggest sporting things. Because I guess so many people are, doing bad stuff with sporting and sports. So, yeah, I would not put silver in anything anymore. I just wouldn't. All those bonus things, I wouldn't do them. Yeah. Like I have some, it was funny. I had some, like my silver mercury dimes. I had some of those laying around the other day, and I was like, oh, I need to make sure I don't because a lot of times with my gold plated dimes, when I use them for photos and stuff, when they get all scratched up from just using them in videos and stuff, I just would throw them away because they're, it's just a dime. Like I'd throw them in my penny jar, throw them in the scrap machines later. But I was like, oh, I have to remember these are silver and they're worth like $12 worth of silver now. Oh. No. All right. Let me shrink down the ugly mug. We're going to go over here. Yeah, the hidden comment. So yeah, let me shrink down the ugly mug, and then we're going to do the giveaway. See who spins the wheel. There we go. Well, that's not the right thing. We want to shrink down the face, not the window cam. So there we go. Ugly mug, small size, and the best website on the interweb, millerprospecting.com. The last couple of videos I've posted up. Who's the best Paydirt seller in 2025? Well, the next video right after that, Gold Nugget sales, New Year's 100% ROI back. My top 10 recommended sellers. Number 1 is Gold Nugget sales. There you go. My last 100 reviews. The last one was Gold Nugget sales, 105% ROI. Lots of information on this website. Definitely go check it out. And oh, wow, that is not supposed to be there. I will have to fix that. I have to pay more attention when I'm building my website. But all right, so there you go. Well, let's go check out the prizes. These are all the prizes you can win if I pull your name. But again, as always, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat before the end of the show, and then we will pull your prize. So if you don't say you're here within a minute or two, then you just lose your prize, and we'll save that one for next week. But these are all the prizes. A 0.25 gram bag from GNS Paydirt. We have a copper round or sticker pack. We have a few of those. A random silver quarter, random silver dimes, random 10% silver Mexican coin, a bag of Paydirt from MBMM LLC. This was actually from Those Left Behind. He donated that to the channel. It's got 0.144 grams of gold in it. A mini keychain Paydirt. This is from Lucky Lodi out of Germany. He donated that. A small rock, again, from MBMM LLC. The Kazakhstan copper nugget. This is a real nugget, copper nugget. Random gold back. That was from Alan Curie. A French franc, NGC French. So if you like NGC coins, I think I gave away the last one last time. A signed gold pan for Miller Prospecting. Don't win this one because I don't think I have an extra pan to sign anymore. Some keychains, Miller Prospecting keychain, and Those Left Behind keychain. Some weird copper gold thing that you really, really want to win, so I don't have that anymore. A presidential PCGS dollar, and some more copper rounds and sticker packs. Those are all the prizes you can win. But before that, we need to pull a name. So let me check up on chat really quickly. Only watch crypto stuff and Paydirt stuff. I do not watch anything on crypto. So there we go. Let's fetch. Good luck to everyone. Include replies. Here we go. 58 comments. Let's pick a winner. Corporal Jaeger. There we go. Appreciate the chance. Good luck, everyone. Well, all right. Let's see if he's stuck around, Corporal. Haven't seen you in chat in a few minutes. Are you still here, Corporal? Jaeger's still in the house. No, we will see. Is Weezin here? I did not see Weezin. Oh, where is Weezin? Well, thank you for popping in, Weezin. Hopefully you've been doing good, brother. Hey, there you go. Corporal Jaeger in the house. There you go. Here, I will put my email. There we go. Thank you, HD. Appreciate that, Ed. So email me at Dylan@MillerProspecting so you can collect your prize. So I know you'll have to send me your address so I can send it to you. So, but congratulations. Let's go to your prizes and see what you won. We'll shuffle it up, and then Perry the Platypus will tell you what you won. So, here we go. Round and round it goes. Good luck. Is it the quarter or the dime? Oh, the Mexican coin. You got the 10 ounce. I think I might be running out of those. I only got a couple of those. So you got the Mexican coin, brother. Those are really nice coins. They're older coins. They're from, I don't want to say, I'm going to say the late 1800, like 1890 or something like that. They're old. They're vintage coins. So, but they're old, you know, they're pre-1930s or something like that. You know, but congratulations. And then I will go back to the best website ever. There we go. But there we go. Just email me. Hey, James, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Appreciate you listening. But yeah, Jaeger, just email me, Dylan@MillerProspecting.com, and I'll send that out to you in a day or two. Just send me your address, and we'll get that right out to you. And I appreciate you watching the show. So, but let me make everybody look at me full size now. Full size ugly mug. Well, there you go. So, but yes, next Monday. And again, if anyone doesn't notice, this year, all my new videos will be coming out on Mondays, and then the live shows will be on Tuesday. My weekends have just been a little bit too hectic lately, kids and stuff to do. And, you know, my son works on the weekends now, so I've been chauffeuring a lot and, you know, Liz, hanging out with her. So it's just a lot. Weekends have been a lot more difficult for me to get videos out on that day, where if I have them on Monday, if something happens, I have Monday to scramble to get things finished up in time. So, and it also makes it so on Tuesdays, I don't forget stuff about what I just panned out on Monday. But I do have a new video coming out Monday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. So originally it was supposed to be about ugly nuggets and, you know, things like that. But like I said, I just don't know if the camera on my phone is good enough to make a good enough video out of it and show them the gold close enough. I do have a microscope somewhere I'm trying to find. So it's either going to be that or I'm going to do a Paydirt review. I do have a bag of Paydirt that I want, or it will be more like a Paydirt reveal because somebody figured out who my secret shopper was. So it'll either be one of the two. I don't know yet. But then next Tuesday we'll be panning some stuff out, and I don't know yet. You know, until I figure out what I'm going to do for Monday's video, I don't know what I'm going to do for next Tuesday, but we'll definitely be back next Tuesday to pan some stuff out. But I'm going to get out of here. I hope everyone has an absolutely great week until I see you all again next Tuesday. And again, Monday, something will come out. I will have a video out. But thank you all very much. And if you're a Patreon member and you haven't, make sure this will be like a weekly reminder. Make sure you go guess on the last gold guessing contest. I'm on the Mexican radio. So go guess on the gold guessing contest if you haven't already. And if also make sure with gold prices being really high, you pay attention to my daily ROI charts to find some good ones. Hopefully find some good deals on there while we still can. So. And you too, Beermans. Hopefully everyone has a great week, but I will see you all next